friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I'm right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Great place to go if you're looking for a Yamaha golf cart, ATV, UTV, motorcycle, e-bike, scooter, go-kart. They've got it all at Impact Power Sports. Great place to go in Rockford, Michigan. They got a full service department for you there if you need anything at all, maybe on your existing gear or if you need something updated on your current setup or looked at, they can help. Starting this show and a little bit concerned, we have Darla in and out of the room. That's why I have the door open there, and she's a little bit concerned on how temperamental she is. She has started this, Pooh Bear just went back to school, so she's not liking that at all. So she isn't, she would prefer being with her at all times. So now she's stuck with me, and she kind of hates her life because of that. So, excuse me. Okay, so we are off and running on what was a very, very eventful weekend and a lot to talk about. But what I want to get into first was kind of like this very one-sided assault that took place, this brouhaha on the Eric Zane Show podcast Facebook fan page. If I am Rod Weber, I'm wondering if he's having any remorse about picking a fight with your old pal EZ. Man Bun Chris says, you murdered that dude. LOL. Yeah, I had to. Look, the dynamic here that everybody knows is Free Beer and I are sworn enemies for life. Always will be. We kind of always were. I mean, it wasn't exactly rainbows, kisses, and roses when I worked with the idiot. But as time has passed, the way the dynamic worked out, this is the timeline. So about 3-4 years ago, I'm reviewing audio of their show it couldn't have been that long ago. It's probably less than that. No, I think it was, but I wasn't doing Who Are These Free Beers at the time. Not regularly, at least. But I heard Greg really go after Coleman Lutz and said some terrible things about him. And he also went after Coleman's mother. He was pissed off about something. And in part of his blistering them, he, I guess this is doxing. I'm not 100% sure, but he revealed what Coleman's mother does for a living as a public servant in that community and encouraged, people to blow up her phone. And so they did. And I was like, oh, that's bullshit. So I reached out to her. And she goes, yeah, it happened. He's kind of a putz. So at that point, I was talking about it on this show. And I even referred to her, I go, this local hag, which she's not, but in a silly way she is. She heard that. I mentioned that on Patreon. And then I noticed that she signed up for Patreon, Coleman's mother. And I was like, oh, no. She's going to hear me call her a hag. And I was saying it in jest. I was being supportive, but she's like, you asshole. I was like, oh, I'm going to get along with you just fine. She did say, thank you for defending my son. I go, hey, I'd like to meet him. So Coleman and I hit it off. As time would pass, Coleman filled me in on a family detail that took that is part of the family arrangement with his ex, which is the nose. And when he told me, I was like, what? So it eventually came out on this show. And and that is that Coleman's ex, Kayla, her mother, divorced her father. Or there was a divorce. There was a divorce that took place between the mother and the father. And then the mom gets married to the father's brother. Now that's fucked. But I was like, holy shit. Time passes, and I noticed that the brother who married the mom starts commenting on my Facebook posts. It's always tricky business if you're going to make a comment on my Facebook post. And it's even more tricky if you make a snarky comment on one of my Facebook posts, because I usually take those poorly and respond appropriately. But even more so if it's someone who married his brother's ex-wife. If you're a guy that gets married to your brother's ex-wife, it's kind of like a life goal of yours, in my opinion, to keep your head down. Because no matter what you say, there's a pretty good chance that the other side is going to go back to the fact that, you married your brother's ex-wife. Now, I have no idea if Rod Weber was taking Kayla's mom to Pound Town when it was known as Rod's sister-in-law. I don't know that. Maybe the first relationship ended, plenty of time passed, and then Rod and Kayla's mom struck up a courtship. We don't know that. It could have happened. Or it could have been that he was taking Kayla's mom to Pound Town while Kayla's mom was married to Kayla's dad. We don't know that. These are all possibilities. I would like to think that Rod Weber would not have taken Kayla's mom to Pound Town when Kayla's mom was married to Rod's brother. Anyway, Rod shows up on one of my Facebook posts. 10 out of 10 times, I'm minding my own business. And for some reason, I keep getting people that want to take a run at me. Whether it's a Segment 18 LARPer or if it's someone who marries his brother's wife. Nick with a comment, they were DPing like Amanda's cousins. Yeah, that's right. Amanda had sex with two cousins. I think that's it. Anyway, this is how it went on my end. Like I said, they're just minding my own business. And then Rod there checks in on I was promoting my Who Are These Free Beers show, and he wrote, people really pay to listen to this? Now look, I can't let that go. If I have an opportunity to hammer a guy who married his brother's ex-wife, I'm going to do that. So all it takes is a few lines, and that's what I did. I wrote, so for those who don't know, Rod here is married to Greg's wife's mother, but he's also her uncle. Rod's brother, the Nose's dad, was married to Kayla's mom. They divorced. Uncle Rod ended up marrying Kayla's mom. So he's a Stuncle. The fact that I have his attention on here is excellent motivation for your old pal EZ. Thanks, Stuncle Rod. By the way, your entire family seems gross. No wonder you all live in Door Hill Jacks. Rod kept coming back for more, though. Again, if you're going to go out of your way to take a run at EZ and you married your brother's ex, god damn. Rod says, I was kind of asking a question and the people was more looking for a yes or no. He's referring to when he wrote, people actually listen to this? Well, no, you weren't. I mean, you can say that now, but at the same time, you were trying to be insulting and snarky to me, but you're a standard model. You don't have the ability. No one has the ability to do what you're attempting to do there, Rod, let alone someone who is having sex with his brother's ex-wife. So I asked, serious question. How are you able to justify betraying your own brother like that? Now, he doesn't ever answer me. He always dodges the questions. But just the fact that he's seen what I'm writing to him, it just makes me happy. He wrote, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. It's not a question for you. Maybe later you will get a chance to talk. So that's his approach. I wrote, speaking of feelings, were you worried about your brothers when you married his wife? So he keeps coming back for more. Outstanding work by me. What a weekend. Bob says, dude really needs some help utilizing the English language and use of punctuation. So that was a good portion of my weekend. And I was excited to engage. So what you have here, if you're Kayla, you got to be fucking pissed. Because you and your family, well, maybe not you, but your family look like a bunch of fucking clowns because of your Stuncle. This is I'm offering you some advice. Kayla, tell Stuncle Rod to shut the fuck up. What a fucking moron. I mean, you're already in kind of a bad spot because you're married to Freebeer. And, you know, I'm going to kick his ass all the time on here. But the fact that Stuncle Rod is stepping into my backyard, and no one alive is equipped to do what Stuncle Rod is trying to do. The nickname itself, Stuncle, it's unbelievable. Your Stuncle is getting his ass kicked over and over and over again. All right? Now, there's no way in hell she doesn't reach out to him and say, Stuncle Rod, please stop. By the way, I got Coleman tipped me off, and he goes, by the way, are you aware that Stuncle Rod's son, Scott, is on your Patreon? I'm like, what? He is? So I looked it up, and sure enough, he is, or at least he was. He signed up for a year in January of 24. From January of 24 to January of 25, he had a year. I don't know if he's still on, if he's renewed. I got to double check to see if he is. should have done this beforehand. No, my man is still in. Okay. So Scott is Stuncle Rod's son. And as of January of 2024, he is he's on the show. He's following along on Patreon. And I don't even know what to do with that. My first thought was, I said to Coleman, so what is he doing? Is he monitoring to see if I say something that's where I could get sued? He goes, no, I don't think so. I go, is he gonna kick my ass? And he goes, no, he's not capable of kicking anybody's ass. So I'm like, okay. What did he write? No, he wouldn't beat anyone's ass. Scott is pretty chill. I'm sure he is laughing if he knows about it. So I said, so that's Kayla's, instead of cousin, that would now be Kayla's step brother. So she has Stuncle Rod, and then Scott would be her step brother. Brousin. I think I'm following along. So what do we have here? Let's review. Now, after further investigation, Kayla's step brother, Scott, supports the Eric Zane Show podcast Patreon. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Scott, I'm counting on you to help me get Stuncle Rod on the show. What I was thinking is we could get Stuncle Rod to play Family Feud. There's all sorts of avenues here for hilarity, and you can be kind of like the point man on this. Step brother Scott. And at the end of the day, this is pissing Greg off. And to me, that is the ultimate gift. If I know that Greg is pissed, and he is, there's a spring in my step. I'm sitting up taller in my chair. This is a sworn lifelong enemy of your old pal EZ. So, wow, I've got Stuncle Rod contributing to my Facebook posts. I've got step brother Scott supporting me on Patreon. Outstanding. Cole says maybe Cole V. I don't think this is Cole who used to be married to Greg's wife. I think it's Cole in Colorado Springs. Maybe he enjoys the free beer beat-ups. He might. Maybe he thinks Greg's a cock. I don't know. Ben Weller's here. He says, dang it, I missed the Stuncle talk. Oh, my God. Yeah, you did, but good thing is you can go back and check it out. Patrick says you have to talk about step brother Scott on the Patreon. I absolutely will. That means that slowly but surely I am winning over audience members, family members of Free Beers. These are by marriage family members. So if Stuncle Rod is a Stuncle to Kayla, that would make Stuncle Rod a what to Free Beer? Stuncle-in-law? I think it would be. There's got to be another way to say that. That sounds more hilarious. But he has a Stuncle-in-law, and he has his father-in-law. All right. Chris says the family tree looks like a Christmas wreath. Well, I don't know about that. You see, there's nothing technically wrong with marrying your brother's ex-wife. Like, it's not, you know how you hear about people who inbreed? This is not that. It's more the fact that, you know, the tension you're going to cause within the family. Coleman was telling me that when he was part of this nonsense, there was a lot of strategic work that had to be accomplished to be able to visit people on the holidays because of fear of Stuncle and father and father-in-law and whatever crossing paths. It's not great from what I'm understanding. Now, maybe they've patched it up over time, but I mean, think about you in your own life, audience members. If you have let's say you're married. Picture your sibling marrying your significant other. How would that go? Horrible. I wouldn't, this is the type of nonsense that is what's surrounding various, a horrible incident that's covered on the show Dateline. But I am eternally thankful that Stuncle Rod made an appearance on my Facebook page. Piano Fingerbanger says, imagine the Queen of the Forest marrying charity scam Mike. Well, that's terrible to even consider, but it would have to be even worse than that because that's not my blood brother. That's my brother-in-law. It would have to be my brother, World Book Jim, marrying the Queen of the Forest. Yeah, I mean, that destroys families. All right. Thank you so much for being part of the show on Facebook and on YouTube, but I'm getting ready to kick you out, unfortunately. The rest of the show is available on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, and you'll be all set, good to go. My show on Patreon, as I talked about, is there for you. 7 days free, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Last week, at the end of the week, I published the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast and the latest edition of Who Are These Free Beers. Every day, I put out another Patreon bonus podcast. Mondays and Fridays, the Lost Zane recordings. Tuesday of this week, tomorrow, is the Big Fraud Book Club meeting on Patreon. That's going to be awesome. If you want to be in on Book Club, I just added another member, Kyle told me yesterday, or Friday. Thank you. If you want in on Book Club, just let me know. All you got to do is say, hey, I want in on Book Club. The only reason why I need your name is so that I can, because then I can add you to, the drawing, because every time we finish a book, we draw another name to see. And then it's up to you to pick the book. You're our book picker. So if you want in on all of that, that's at patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you want in on Book Club, email me on the Shoreliners Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Runner girl Amy says, how is everyone's reading going? I'm going to get to that in a second. I think that's worthy of a little bit of a discussion. But before I kick those folks out, thank you so much for enjoying this portion of the show. But the rest of it, as I said, is available at twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live.